praying the whole time, and being like, Lord, just get me home, and I'm going to change. I'm going to change things, and kept making this bargain, and so I got home, and I remember just sitting in my living room, and my back is to the wall, and just a couple of my brothers were there, and they were just looking at me, what are you doing? What is going on? And because they get to see all over my face that something was going on, and I'm like, is my head moving? They're like, no. Like, are you sure? Is it? What about now? And I just felt like my head was moving, and I'm just tripping, and I just felt like there was electricity just going through my brain. Like it was just like this weirdest feeling. I didn't know what was going on. Like I said, I hadn't experimented with drugs, so I didn't know if this was normal. Like, am I, if I could die? Like, I didn't know. So I was panicking, and just realized the example that it was my brothers, because I was the most Christian out of my siblings. Per se, which, clearly wasn't that great of an example, but, and they're like, are you on something, And I was an example to them, and I just realized what a poor example I was being at that point too, and just realized, that was dangerous. Like something could have definitely happened, and if I'd stayed in, any circumstance like that. So just realized I needed to get out of that once again, and later on that week, I had a few people over just to drink and whatever. My friend brought her boyfriend, and I went to the kitchen. He was crunching, or he was crushing something up on the counter, and put it into his drink. I really wanted to try whatever he was drinking, but I was like, what did you just put into that? And he said, oh, it's hydrocodone. I'd had hydrocodone for my knee when I had injured my knee when I was playing soccer my freshman year of college. I overstretched my ACL and had serious problems with that, and I had surgery to fix my meniscus, but it turned out it was the wrong surgery, and so it was a whole thing, and so my knee was just an issue, and so I had taken hydrocodone for that, but it never did anything. It didn't, no pain relief, no anything. Hydrocodone didn't do anything for me. So I was like, I still want to try this drink. So I drank some of it, not all of it, but some of it, and a few minutes later realized that I was tripping on something, and I was like, this wasn't hydrocodone, and I went up to him and said, you did not put hydrocodone in there, did you? He said, nope, it was ecstasy. And, once again, realized that I just wasn't where I wanted to be, and it just wasn't the situation I wanted to be in. And, from there on, just really decided, I was like, I'm gonna change. I just had more willpower. I'm gonna change, and you know, just went and locked myself in my room from that point on, and just never came back down, and decided to change. And that summer, just as one last rebelling, because I could feel this pull, like the Lord was definitely like, he had my heart, and he was there the whole time calling me, asking me, to come back and, follow him, and that, this path that I was down was going to be empty and void, and I was following after, futile things that, weren't going to profit me anything, and, and so there's this really strong pull from there. But then, this lifestyle was still kind of pulling me back. And so that summer I decided to try, pot, and I had gone, my entire life. I was, 18 or 19. No, I was, 19, actually almost 20 at the time. And decided that, I wanted to try it for once, because I had never tried it, and I was always so adamant about nobody doing that. So I took, a hit off of somebody's joint once or twice that summer, and that was enough for me. And I decided from then on that that wasn't the person that I wanted to be either, and just realized that it was just so empty. I just still felt so, worthless, and just empty, and just no, I just didn't want all that to define me. So I started going back to church, and really started flying after Christ. And I can tell you for certain that it hasn't been the easiest road. It hasn't been, you know, all, I didn't decide to come to Christ and then everything was perfect. Like, it didn't happen like that, and it's definitely been, a struggle. And, by the grace of God, there was things in my life that I had not compromised on. Um, I had known what the authoritative and disciplined kind of God was. That was my entire childhood up until, the Lord really started calling me back. I just thought God was just this old man up in heaven waiting to punish you if you did something wrong. Because I grew up with a very, authoritative household, and it was very, strict, and, you do something wrong, you're going to get punished. And so but it was kind of to the extreme. And so I thought that's what God was. And, for sex and things like that, that was just something like I felt like that was gonna be the last straw. If I did that, if I crossed that line, God just wasn't gonna want me. He was gonna say, "You're not welcome, in my kingdom. You're not welcome in my heaven." So, and now looking back, I realized that was false. But luckily, I had never crossed that line because I was always so scared. So, the Lord was always still there, kind of, he was always there. He was always there, but I just didn't realize that he was there all of the time. So, I was too blinded by my own ambition and by my own, by just what I was doing, by my actions, that I just didn't realize that he was there that whole time. And he was just waiting for me to, run back into his arms. So luckily there are places that, the Lord has, had, grace in, because there are just places that I went that, that certainly I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of, my partying lifestyle and all of that, but the Lord is good, and the Lord is gracious, and he has mercy for those places, and, for whatever, wherever you're coming from, the Lord has grace and mercy for those places. So I just encourage you to run after him. But, right, even after I became, just a really solid, like, follower of Christ, I'm reading my Bible, I'm praying, I'm seeking after, the Lord's face, and I want to know who he is, and I want to have a relationship with, Jesus. It didn't all make sense. It still doesn't. There are still things the Lord is doing in my life that I don't understand, because his ways are higher than ours, and he can see the grand scheme, and we don't get to see that. We can only see in the scope of where we are and where we've come from, but luckily, he can see everything, where you're going to be. So, you know, I just want to encourage you to just seek after the Lord, and, just follow after what he's telling you to do, because he can see the end. And, I've continually, time and time again, just try to go my own way. Like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do, and just run after those things. And they didn't profit me anything. And it turned out, I had to backtrack and go back to where I was when the Lord, was really directing me. And I had to go back to what I knew the Lord was directing me to, and run, that way, the way that he wanted me to go, that I wasn't listening to. And, it hasn't all been, butterflies and roses. And, I even spent, 5 or 6 months on missions trip in Africa, and did not feel the Lord most of my time there. And I knew that I was doing the Lord's work, and I knew that he called me to do that. And I just knew that that's where he wanted me, but I just didn't feel him. I didn't see him. I just felt like I was in this desert season, and just kept seeking the Lord, hard, and saying, "Where are you?" Like, "Where are you? You're not here. You're not listening to me. You're not helping me. I'm so out on my own. I'm in the middle of Africa. I'm not with anybody I know. I'm not doing anything that I know. It would have made so much more sense for me to stay here and continue to work, towards my college degree. But for some reason, I'm in the middle of Africa, and I just did not understand what I was doing. And, I just got really bitter. And so even after I've been really seeking after the Lord, there are times where I just, get frustrated and bitter and angry. And the Lord has just brought me to such a place, just of not being just discouraged by those things, and really just continuing to press on, towards that goal, towards that prize. And, just of having a relationship with him, and knowing him, and going to heaven one day, and spending eternity with him. And, you know, this has been my testimony. I just want to encourage you. If it encourages one or two people, then it was entirely worth me putting up. So, I would love to hear your testimony if you'd like to reply to this with your own. Um, So God bless, and I hope to hear from you.